Hello students, in our previous class we have studied about comparing the three sectors. In this portion we have studied the historical change in sectors. In initial stage of development, primary sector was the most important sector. After the development of primary sector, people shifted towards the secondary sector due to establishment of industries. In the past 100 years, tertiary sector is the most important sector of the Indian economy. Most of the people now they are shifting, they have shifted from secondary sector to tertiary sector. Today we will study about primary, secondary and tertiary sector in India. In your book, one graph is given. It may be different because of different edition. Okay, graph 1. It shows production of goods and services in three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary. This is the graph for 2 years 1973 and 2003. You can see different colors are used for different sectors. There is increase in all the sector: primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector from 1973 to 2003. But when we compare the rate of growth, we can see that tertiary sector is the sector where the growth rate is very high as comparing to the other two sectors. Rising importance of the tertiary sector in production. Why is the tertiary sector becoming so important in India? There could be several reasons. The reason for rapid growth in the tertiary sector is, first, in any country, several services like hospitals, educational institutions, post and telegraph services, police station, court, village administrative offices, municipal corporation, defense, transport, bank, insurance companies, etc. are required. These can be considered as basic service. All these services like hospital, educational institution, post office, administrative office, these are the basic services. In a developing country, the government has to take responsibility for the provision of these services. Second reason is the development of agriculture and industry led to the development of services. More will be the production in primary and secondary sector. There will be more demand of transportation, more demand of banking facilities. So the development of primary sector and secondary sector lead to the increase in the tertiary sector. Services such as transport, trade, storage and the like, as we have already seen. Greater the development of the primary and secondary sector, more would be the demand for such services. The third reason for the rising of tertiary sector is, as income level rise, certain section of the people start demanding many more services like eating out, tourism, shopping, private hospitals, private schools, professional training, etc. You can see this change quite sharply in cities, especially in big cities. In big cities, the people who are living, their lifestyle also changes along with the rise of income. When the lifestyle changes, they demand these services like restaurant, tourism, shopping complex, private hospitals, schools, etc. The fourth reason is, over the past decade or so, certain new services such as those based on information and communication technology have become important and essential. In today's world, information and communication technology is very important. The production of these services have been rising rapidly. In chapter 4, we shall see examples of these new services and the reasons for their expansion. In next chapter 4, you will study about these information technology in detail. The fourth reason is because of the new services such as information and communication technology. However, you must remember that not all the services and sector is growing equally well. Service sector in India employs many different kind of people. At one end, there are limited number of services that employ high skill and educated worker. In our India, all the sectors are not growing equally. There are limited number of services. There are at other end there are very large number of workers engaged in services such as small shopkeepers, repair person, transport person, etc. These people barely manage to earn a living and yet they perform these services because no alternative opportunities for work are available to them. There are some pupils who are engaged in small shopkeepers, repair person, transport person. These people, their income is very low. As a result, the demand of these services are also very low. Hence, only a part of this section is growing in importance.